What's up YouTube, we're back again with a new video, and in today's tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to create these diamonds dancing effects. I decided to name this tutorial the diamonds dancing because, as you can see in the preview, we have some diamond particles coming out of the chain of the artist. You can use it on a chain or a watch and then track that movement and put a glow on it to create such a look. That being said, a simple breakdown would look like this. Let me disable these layers. Our base layer looked like this. This is a performance scene. We have Melvoni appearing from the back. What I did first, I tracked the chain pendant, the middle part of the chain, from the beginning to the end, and then we put that information on a null object, which is right there. If I hit U, you can see. And then we deleted the tracking information from this clip, and then we duplicated that clip. I used a roto brush tool to isolate the subject. If I hide the background, we have the subject, and we also put a glow on it. And then we paired that up with a black solid, which is on screen mode in terms of blending, and then we put the CC particles and a glow to cap it off. That's basically the breakdown for this effect. It's quite simple when you think about it. Let's create a new composition and start with it. Now we have our clip right here on this comp, and the first thing that you want to do, you want to track the movement of the chain. Once the pendant is visible, I think from this frame, we want to track this going forward. You can find your trackers tab on the right side, and if you can't, go to Windows, make sure it's enabled. You want to track the motion, make sure to have selected the clip, track the motion. It will give you one tracking point. You can enlarge it and then size it where you want it. So here's my pendant. Now we will begin going frame by frame, one frame right, and then we'll put it back to the middle. One frame right. I will keep adjusting until the AI is able to recognize what I'm trying to track, like right now. Okay, so once you've tracked it frame by frame, you can right click here to create a new null object, and then come back here, edit the target, place it as that null object, and then you can look at your options if you need to, but there's no need, and then click on apply. So these tracking points will be embedded on this null object. If we hit U, you can see the track points. Now you can delete the tracking data from these. Hit U, delete the trackers. Now you can come back to your composition, right click on this gray space, create a new solid. Let's name it diamonds. Make sure it's 1920 by 1080. Okay, here's our black solid. I'll place it right on top. Now go to your effects and look for a CC particle. It's the CC particle world, put it on the black solid. Once you click on the effect, you can see where it originates from. And if we play it back, it kind of pours out. So you need to change a few parameters to get this look. You can keep the birth rate at anywhere around 3, and then the longevity at around 1.7. Afterwards, go to the physics part of it, of the settings. I'll increase the velocity to around 1.85. Anywhere at around 1.8 looks good. And then click on the gravity, reduce it to a negative 0.8. At negative 0.08 means the particles will fly upwards, which is good. Under the particles, you can change the particle type to a star, and now you can begin seeing the diamonds. I would actually go for these colors, but for the sake of the tutorial, I'll just change the colors to white, both the birth color and the death color, and then go back to your effects and presets and look for a glow. I personally recommend using the Red Giant Universe glow. You can also use the Sapphire glow, but once I put the Red Giant Universe glow, it's almost instant. Let me reduce the rate at which I'm rendering. You can see as soon as I put the Universe glow, it really gives it a different feel. You can increase the intensity to increase the shininess. About 0.3 looks good. And then we want to track these diamonds to this null object. So just pick this pick whip tool. You can toggle between switches and modes using this. Parent it to the null object so that it can follow that movement. Okay, if we play it back, it looks good so far, but one more thing that I like to do, I like to centralize where these particles form to this middle part of the chain. You can go with your scaling, increasing the scaling and the position keyframes, but that only makes your work harder. I recommend changing the black solid, go to the layer, change the solid settings. What I recommend is changing these dimensions and multiplying them by 2. So 1920 by 2 will be 3840, and the height times 2, 1080 by 2 should be 2160. So that automatically makes the solid big enough, and I can make sure the anchor point is at the middle of this frame from any point. So right now it's very well tracked. You can see that minute change really makes it more interesting. Now we need to make the subject himself glow, and that will be by rotoscoping the subject. So I'll hide these 2 layers, and then I'll duplicate our main background layer, and then let's name this Melvoni Roto. Then using a roto brush tool, I'll go around the subject, double click on that so that it can take me to lower layer, and then I'll go at the beginning and begin tracking. Okay, I'll start right here, and then I'll track it backwards and forwards. Okay, that looks clean. I'll go back to my composition, I'll disable my background, then you can see it. So I'll copy the glow from this solid to this layer so that it has that glow. If you add that up, it looks really good. If you want, you can keyframe the opacity for this rotoed area. I'll hit T, add my opacity, put it to 0, and then as the diamonds begin shining, that's when we have the opacity going at 100. I can always put that on easy ease, and in just a few minutes you have these good looking effects. Once you have this going, we only have one thing left, and that is adding a motion blur to the diamonds. So on this solid layer, make sure to switch between these modes and enable the motion blur here. Once you enable that motion blur for the diamonds, you can see the stars really blur as they come out and go back. You can see you can always tune this up by going to your composition and the settings. Under advanced, you can increase the shutter angle if you want a more pronounced effect. If I leave it at 180 degrees, you can see it's more accentuated. And if you play it back, the shutter angle at 180 degrees actually gives me a better look. They look as if they are dripping out of his chains, which is really cool. That's basically it. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching this video. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. If you did enjoy the video, kindly give it a thumbs up, and if you're watching my content for the first time, make sure to subscribe and turn on post notification bell so that you never miss any of my upcoming tutorials. You can also show your support by visiting my website at dannyjames.co. I have preset packs and alerts that you might find useful. You can also join my Patreon, that is to access content that's not released here and project files, and as well raw music video footage that you can use to edit and put your skills to practice. That's it from me today. Looking forward to see you in the next tutorial. My name is Danny James. Peace.